Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 722. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey, what's up, everyone?
What's up, Kana?
Oh my god, I'm on a cast.
Oh my god! What's up, James?
LOZ.
What's up, Mike D?
Shiat.
What's up, Jacob?
What's up, people? Get up and have an up and go. That's right.
What is that? All right, so
I've had to up and go a couple of times. I've had to up and go a couple of times with some young ladies.
No, Lord have mercy. Okay. Oh, getting on with the Zygon episode. Let's go.
Yes.
yeah, thank you,
Yes.
thank you, James. Thank you. Okay, so
Those young ladies were actually Zygons.
yes.
Like I said yesterday, Mike looks like a Zygon, so it's only fair that he fucks Zygon.
Oh, would you?
Yeah,
Jesus,
man.
come on. Now.
I like to keep it in my species, if you will.
All right.
Children, calm down.
All right. So, what did you
I
think,
like
James?
Zygon wogs, I love.
Shit.
Well, so what is it? So is she a Zygon or is she human or what? Cause
You know what? I wish I knew with Osgood because I don't like that whole half this, half that garbage. Because even the doctor says, yeah. Besides that, what are you? Because he knows it's all bull crap. He said, what are you, human or like Zygon?
Well, because it ain't no hybrid or nothing. So
Yeah, that's nonsense. That's nonsense.
Unit just got their ass kicked in this episode. I'm sorry.
Well,
He did, yes.
that's just. I have a feeling that it's all a ruse. That they know that there was the fake Clara.
Yeah.
For some reason. Because you know what I think tipped off the doctor? Believe it or not, it's the stupidest thing. But when she said that she memorized the Trivial Pursuit things,
Yeah.
like he looked at her like
Ain't
Clara
no way.
wouldn't do that because she's smart, you know? So I think that like tipped him off, like he knew, and he told Kate Stewart because Kate Stewart was a little secretive to Clara.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a Connor. I'm just taking a wild stretch there, buddy. I'm sorry, but I kind of want to believe that they're not all
I
dead.
love seeing the first Doctor. The first Doctor in the picture frame was awesome seeing.
That to me, that makes absolutely no sense, being that the unit had never encountered the first Doctor. They should have had the second Doctor's picture on there.
Well, they probably got his library card.
No, but really, that really makes no sense to me. Because again, they didn't encounter him. They encountered the second Doctor, so that would have made more sense. But James, what did you think of the episode overall? And tell us what you liked and you didn't like.
Oh, I liked it was pretty good where they used your family against you, the Zygons, try to manipulate your mind, confuse you and everything. That was good. That was a good arc for the Zygons because they didn't get really used that much in the 50th anniversary, but this is a great breakthrough for them, to showcase how awesome they can be. I think, to be honest.
Right. What do you have to say?
It's a relief from our Dalek or dang Cyberman for a while. Thank God.
Oh my god.
What?
Nothing.
Jacob?
Our friends at Who Was just posted a very funny comic.
Oh, okay. Jacob?
I saw the episode.
Yeah, I've got to say. Okay, Mike, you can go.
No, I answered Jacob.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead, man. I was going to comment on the episode, actually. I saw it for a second time after we talked about it yesterday, is what I was going to say.
All right, let's get to Jacob, then let's get to you, because I also watched it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Times.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I was actually gonna cry on one certain bit when that old lady came out, which was the Zygon, as that mother of that soldier, and I was about to cry because was he gonna shoot her? Isn't he gonna shoot her? Or yeah? But I was gonna cry on that bit. I was gonna tear up on that bit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how sad I was. But
All
overall,
right,
I loved it.
You loved it.
Zygons and stuff. It was good.
Hi, Mike D. You saw it again multiple times. So, hey, Scott.
Well, let's get Scott's take on it.
Yeah. What's
Take
up,
on
Scott? The Zygon episode.
Not bad. I started thinking, I know when they were traveling down the elevator, I'm thinking, okay, one of these two is a Zygon, but I misjudged exactly when Clara became it. I thought she was like a Zygon from the get-go, and not when she encountered the kid being kidnapped.
Yeah, but the problem is though, ain't there like 20 million Zygons on the planet now, or what?
Yeah.
You don't know who's Zygon right now.
I've got to say, Jenna Coleman actually acted pretty good as the evil Dark Clara Zygon.
Yeah, that's her better acting.
Yeah, I mean that's what spooked me. Because right when she looked inside,
I'd take that Clara over normal Clara anytime.
So, Mike, you saw her again a second time. What you think?
After we had the last cast, I watched it, and I'm trying to think of like what really stood out to me more the second time I saw it. I guess like some people were talking about, it seemed like the Doctor really didn't have a very prominent role in that episode, and it just seemed like another Clara Who episode going on.
Well, if you remember, I said that too. Like, you really didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Like some people said on that cast, meaning you is one of them. Yeah. Yeah, and we were discussing like the ratings going down yesterday on the cast, and I did a little bit of research on that, and I think it was Digital Spy. I was reading an article that they had, and they were talking about just some of the stuff about they had a problem with the fact that the show had been like taken over by Clara pretty much. That the show's about the Doctor and a companion, and it's about the Doctor. He always saves the companion, but the companions are always like a pet. They're not really like, you know, like he looks at him like like a little pet that he's just intrigued by, not like they're going to take over the damn show. And it was just interesting to read that article. That really stuck in my head from looking at that last night.
I noticed that a lot too.
See, but the only thing bad about go ahead.
What?
I say the only thing bad about Clara though. Oh, go ahead.
Or Scott or James, somebody was talking. Yeah.
I thought Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Scott's frozen, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
I'm frozen with fear.
Well, it's not Who Fire. I'm not going to terminate you. It's not Who Fire.
Oh, that was a great episode, by the way, too.
Yeah. There'll be more of those, I'm sure.
I love how Steam Turd like doesn't like classic Doctor Who, but he talks about like how clunky classic Doctor Who was, but he likes the original Star Trek. I mean, come on, man. They're both okay. They're both good, you know, but you can't disqualify one when the other is just as clunky. But who had the better stories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there will be another Who Fire, I guess.
Doctor Who. And
here's the thing about Doctor Who.
I'm going to say my favorite line in this Zygon episode was, "I am Dr. Disco."
Yes.
I love that line.
Well, he comes on Dr. Disco and Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh.
No,
Lord.
he said Dr. Funkmaster also.
Oh God.
I didn't hear that, but
I will say this much: I suspected the cop being a Zygon from the get-go, but I didn't know from which side she was going to be working on.
Yeah.
I have a
apparently
feeling
since
Kate
the 50th anniversary, the Zygon's been taking over the planet, or what?
well,
No, see the Dr. Frankenstein line. I thought he said Frankenstein also when he got on the plane with Osgood, but he said Dr. Funkmaster because he's keeping everything relatable to music. That's why he said Dr. Disco, Dr. Funkmaster, and then Clara said something about you didn't just refer to yourself as Dr. Disco, right, or whatever. That it's all musical. So he didn't say Frankenstein. He said Dr. Funkmaster.
I thought he said Frankenstein. I got to look at that again.
He said Frankenstein.
I will say this much: when he was waiting for her call, I love the fact that he was doing the Jimi Hendrix version of
Amazing Grace, right?
Amazing Grace. Yeah, thanks for that. Brain failure was an honor.
So what we gonna call this doctor? The Rocker Doctor?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed, again, I watched it again a couple times, and I saw, okay, 1 minute she's concerned about the kid, and then you see her just walking out like nothing. And I'm like, then I'm saying to myself, well, right there, that tells you, if you miss it the first time,
Yeah, she's
that
like,
obviously she's like, she don't give a crap, basically. So, but again, she may have the information to Clara, but I think it's all planned out. I
And they
think
did an
that
intelligent way of explaining Osgood's return too. I have to say that much. They didn't just say, "Here it is." They made it seem like, okay, which one is she? Is she the original? Is she the Zygon? And then it's like, oh, they could be both at the
she's
same
going to turn out to be the original.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too.
Because I
So
think that
Mitzi killed.
I think she's lying, that she making him believe that she's a Zygon or not. Because if she said she was flat out human, they would lose the treaty
killed
with the
her.
Zygons.
She said she was half and half.
Yeah, but Doctor knows that's bullcrap too.
The way he's looking at her, it's like, because he could tell the two twins
Yeah.
being.
First of all, so can Missy. Missy can tell by the scent too. That's why I'm pretty sure that the Zygon died in Death in Heaven. Because she's like, you smell. And Zygons smell. So, I mean, lots of Time Lords can only smell them because of their sensitivity. Like, they get to take, smell other things. But
I did like the scene where
the scene where, what?
What happened? What happened?
Speechless.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Crash.
The scene where,
The
He's
scene where the
been having
doctor
problems with
froze.
his connection for a few days.
We had dramatic effect. Okay.
Scene where he did the Magic Mike episode.
all right.
Okay. Well, I know that the 13th Doctor or 12th Doctor stealing a lot from David Tennant. I noticed, like because he could smell, he could smell a clone, or smell somebody that if you with somebody for a while, you know their scent.
Right. But he knew those two girls were like Zygons right away.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, they didn't even play it off like he was wrong either. I was thinking, all right, maybe he's gonna get it wrong, and then the two next to him are Zygons, or whatever. But he knew dead on.
Or a parent was going to walk up, or a teacher was going to walk up and say, "Will you get the out of here?" And something like
Right. He's Zygon.
And you notice when the Zygons zap people, they turn into like electrified tumbleweed, or
Yeah, that was.
But didn't they turn the unit members into electrified tumbleweed?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Welcome back, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there, but we had a bad storm blow through here last night. I think that it did some cable damage or something going on. I don't know, but
Okay.
yeah, I was going
What's he saying?
to say that I really liked when they went into the Zygon control area, and the doctor's running his hands all over the gooey knobs and everything, and Clara's looking at him like, "Do you need some alone time with this thing?"
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
And he basically said something like he's done this before, and then she looked at him like,
Wow.
Okay.
all right.
Well, it was a reference to Tennant, because Rose once said that when I think it was in School Reunion.
Yep.
Or it could mean that Tennant kissed a Zygon, so... In the 50th,
Well, she looked like the queen at the
Lotless
time.
Monster and
or married, yeah.
See, that's my excuse. I just say I didn't know they were Zygons when I was hooking up with them. They look like normal women to me. So to throw back to Connor's comment earlier in the cast.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been
All right.
worse. Could have been Captain Jack. It could have been Captain Jack.
All right, so if we were to rate this episode...
Well, you didn't ask me for my additional thoughts or whatever.
Well, I'm sorry, Connor. Go ahead.
Yeah, screw you, Connor.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, I'm just a fucking fun, aren't I? Yeah. I liked the episode. I watched it a second time, and I far more enjoyed it. A bit like Darkwater, with all the slightly sinister elements in there, with the references to the modern world. The ISIS, terrorism, evil living amongst us. Stuff like that. It was all rather well played out. I definitely think it's the Dark Water, this series. I'm hoping that the second part's like that as well. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And even Osgood was bearable. I think it's going to turn out to be a bit like The Witch's Familiar, though, where the Doctor knows what's going to happen, so he's gone back and then forward in time to solve it before it's even begun.
You think that the second episode's going to be better than the first?
It should be.
I don't know.
Oh, that's on a cliffhanger.
Usually they drop off.
It depends how well Jenna Coleman acts, because it seems like she's the main, I won't say villain, but she's the one that's kind of standing in the Doctor's way. So
Right.
she's going to have to
And
give
they brought the whole hybrid thing again, so...
Yeah, she's going to have to give a good performance to keep the episode held up well, because if she doesn't, then there's not... I mean, the Zygons are threatening, but then there's no real menace, because
It's almost like a sleeper cell, the fact that they can shapeshift.
Yep,
Yeah.
and they can't, and unit can't track them for some reason. You got all this technology, but you can't track a shapeshift.
Well, that's weird too. I don't know.
They were kind of playing with like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers theme.
Yes, I was seeing
Yeah,
that.
I said that too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. With the whole thing with the people with the flashlights and all of the stuff going on underground in cover of darkness and all that. Yeah.
I said that on the last guess. I said it's like Invasion of Body Snatchers / like breeders or something. It's like in the basement, the gooey stuff and the pods and all that stuff. So
I had a feeling that those were actually people inside those pods. And when Clara started playing off the one girl's concern, I'm thinking, this is a Zygon. And then when they showed the little porthole showing Clara, it's like, there you go.
Yep.
After seeing it that second time, I agree with what Joe was asserting, and I think what we all agreed with on the last cast regarding this episode was that unit they seem very like pedestrian now. They don't really seem like they're really cutting edge with their training, with the way they handled this Zygon invasion.
I would say pretty pathetic.
Exactly.
As a group in general.
They were ineffective, period.
Right. I mean, we had the thing with the Power of Three, where they're all over the place. You had the thing where Bells of St. John, they raided the Grid Intelligence place like in 5 seconds. So, oh my God, it's units. And it's like, even with Missy, like they had to, all over the place into everything with the Zygon. It's like, all right, they're operating at somebody's house. It's like, what happened to their bases? Now they have this house. It's like, what's going on here? It's like ECW filming like a wrestling promos in the grandma's basement type of thing. Like,
well, maybe unit salary.
Yeah, right, Chris?
Yeah, unit.
Especially somebody shout out, slip into a Slim Jim.
Well, that's ECW that's what they did. They filmed it in that. The mother was like, no, right, dude, you heard that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that Austin promo where he was pretending to be Hogan.
Right, and meanwhile, right next door, off camera, is the mother like cooking or like ironing stuff, and they're in the basement, like filming stuff and skits and promos. Yeah, so it's like the units in this house. It's like, okay. You got now the table has got like 4 people in there instead of like 1,000 million people, unit members.
Come on inside. We'll explain everything to you. I mean,
like really? You know what? I was really hoping somebody would make like a promo of make unit out to be like something like like Kate's Angels or something, because like all I see is women. I see the cop lady. I see Jax. I see like friggin'. It's just like every. What the hell is happening here with the command structure? They're all women. Like it's like no men allowed type of thing.
Yeah, you would have thought it would have been like Hooters girls enticing them inside that
No,
place.
I'm just saying. You know how ridiculous it is? Those ladies in command and her and the doctor on around the corner. If she's a leader like Brigadier, the Brigadier would go right in there and say, "All right, lay down your weapons, whatever," and Brigadier would have shot them. Like that's like nonsense. Brigadier flat out would have shot them. Flat out, he would have shot them.
Yeah.
Just like he ordered the DeLoreans to blow up the DeLorean's place. The doctor didn't know about it, And then years later, like the doctor deposes Harry Jones prime minister. I mean, Brigadier didn't fool around. He's like, no, not gonna deal with that.
Well, like the Brigadier said in the episode I referred to before, the Daemons, when he pointed at Bach, the little winged like gargoyle, and he just looked at the soldier and said, "Quick, chap with the wings, 5 rounds rapid."
Yeah.
You know, it just it's a famous line from that episode.
Yeah.
He would just blown him away. No thought about it.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. Like, just, you know, and that's what if he was there, if he was alive, he would have shot the person because the guy wanted to shoot his mother. Or he would have had him switch partners. Just, all right, just you get this one, you get that's it. Like, don't even think about it.
And the Brigadier was not. He would have not went in there.
But that lady that led that group, to allow them to all walk in and then you decide to run around the corner, that was like cowardice. That was nonsense. And that is not the way you run a military operation.
I don't know. Was I the only one laughing at that scene? Like, I was watching it.
I laughed too because I'm like, this is absolutely absurd.
Like, I was watching it and I was like, wow, it would be really stupid if they all just walked in there. And then like they all walked in there and I was like, oh, okay.
I was expecting the doctor, or at least to try to walk over there and do.
Yeah.
He was just standing there.
The doctor would just have no time. Right. So that's why I rate this. And you know what? The rating may go down after watching it on a 4th viewing. I rate this. I rate this a 6. The lowest of the season for me. Because again, if you're gonna write about Unit, like, why don't you check out the history first?
Yeah.
And first of all, like, don't make them like some, like, you know, no frills group that's like a B group budget. Like, I mean, are you kidding me? They're supposed to be. If they're the one that appointed the president of the world, then why do they have a group of like 20 people?
I don't
like,
know who's
seriously.
the balls, but somebody needs to grow a pair the next time around they have a unit.
Pathetic.
Exactly, Carl. So she's more like, was she a colonel or what was she?
I don't know, but they can afford like their own Air Force One for the doctor, but then they can't afford like a motorcade.
The perfect thing to harken back to what you were mentioning about that episode, the doctor should have like cut right between the unit soldiers and entering that building been like looking around with his hands up going, what is wrong with you pudding brains?
Yeah, exactly.
It really bothered me, yeah.
It bothered me a lot.
It bothered me how he was just standing there, and then when they went all in there, he was just looking like, oh, I probably should have done something, but I forgot I was here. Like,
right, even Clara just being quiet half the time, so that's not the way Clara acts anyway. So it's like, all right, something's wrong here too. You know, so the dialogue was terrible that they wrote for the doctor. Wasn't good enough, I'm sorry. Clara, that could have been handled better. Jax, too, and Kate Stewart, you're the leader of unit, and you're by yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
With a handgun.
It's crazy.
If you would have had,
what if they replaced the doctor?
If you would have had a second in command, like if you had like Sergeant Benton or somebody, they would have not made the Brigadier go alone.
Wait, this would have been a great episode to bring like Benton back, like as a consultant.
Thank you.
Unit or something. Because he's got direct experience with
this. There's a reference to even Harry in that episode, too.
Yeah, there was. They said we had a medical officer. They came up with some sort of, like, a gas that turns them inside out.
Yes.
But, I mean, we remember Unit from, like, Pertwee, like, fighting the Axonians, you know, when they're stumbling around out in the field. They'd walk right up and blast them with machine guns.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why, like, obviously this person doesn't know how to write for Unit. He doesn't know how to write for the doctor, or he doesn't know how to write for Clara.
You look at the information.
And Jacob brought up a good point about, he said they should have had Mickey and Martha maybe in that, like...
Well, I said that earlier, too, on the cast, I did. I said, why don't you call them up, actually?
You know what...
Or
go ahead,
Mike. Torchwood now? I thought they went to Torchwood.
I was just saying, yeah, like agreeing with, like, yeah, that's a good point, you know? Like, they're probably fighting their own... I like to think that they're holding off some other group somewhere and helping them out, you know? Because, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
I'm going to say, isn't Martha still with Unit? They should totally bring her back. Like, if they don't bring Mickey back, they should bring her back.
But even if Unit was in jeopardy...
Be with Unit still.
Right, even if Unit was in jeopardy, Captain Jack and Martha would help out Unit.
Yeah, they would jump, they'd find some way of getting there. He'd find some way of packing his little wrist unit, and boom, and there he's at.
And I'm sorry, I hate the whole... how the doctor I'm sorry, how Moffat originally said that Osgood had a sister before the whole Zygon nonsense.
How come we never did see it?
And then you just forget that she actually has a real life sister.
Yeah.
And now the Zygon person's her sister. And because the grave said sister and not Osgood, that was a Zygon. Because you mean to tell me that if that was the real Osgood and you're going to put sister on there, that's a fake.
Yeah.
So that's not the fake died. I'm sorry.
Well, there was just one thing I wanted to go back to, like with that scene with them going into the church. Like it felt like really bad. I don't know if it was directing or writing or maybe the way they edited it, but like the scene before, we have that woman who was standing on the side with the doctor telling those soldiers, remember what we're up against, remember what they're capable of, and be on your guard. And then they all fall for it. So it's like, why that scene right there just shows why the next scene doesn't work. Like,
right. And if you had like Benton or somebody in like Brigadier, okay, after having that speech, if they would have went against it, he would have been screaming on the battlefield.
He'd be there arm in arm, telling them, "This is what you do. You raise the gun. You keep it raised. If you lower it, you're out of the."
But this woman's hiding behind the corner. And the doctor's not doing anything. And it's like, even the woman, when she refused to shoot the missiles, she didn't even reprimand her. Like, hey, what are you doing? You're like, Brigadier would have fired somebody in 2 minutes. Or you just go to sick bay. You're done.
He didn't reprimand anybody.
The whole.
The Brigadier, if somebody didn't act on command, he would instantly suspend them, throw them in the brig, or made him go to the medical officer. He would take them out of command immediately. So when that lady refused to fire the missiles, that woman should have been on that and said, you are relieved from command. Immediately. Immediately. Just like in Planet of the Dead, when, what was that military officer's name? Magumbo? Magumbo?
Magumbo.
Right. Yeah, Magumbo. Right. She basically told the scientists, you don't do this, you're done. You don't do this, you're done. I'll shoot you myself. That's cool. But like,
see Magumba again. She should have been there leading the group.
Thank you. Why wasn't she? Thank you. So you have these people like, okay, you disobey. No, but this is what it was with unions. They're like, oh, you disobey. It's okay. It's okay. And then the whole squad disobeys. Oh, it's okay. You wait for the last person to go in the door, then you run around the corner like an idiot.
Well, they weren't asking them to fire on civilians. These are very clearly aliens. They're just like, they're all sensitive and, let's talk about feelings and go in here.
And their real-life mothers and everybody was protected technically by UNIT because they know this is happening, so wouldn't they put them in a safe house?
Yeah.
Well, like, let's say even if that was their real, like let's say that for some reason those were their real family members, right? If your mindset is telling you we're going up against shape-shifting aliens who are probably going to turn into something that I know and care about so that I don't hurt them, wouldn't logically you be like, this is an alien?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly. And shoot them in the leg. If you don't, like, every shot doesn't have to be...
That will tell you something that they only know. And I'm sorry, if they're a Zygon and they zap their dude...
As soon as they don't answer, you shoot them. It's like,
exactly.
Okay, done.
And the other thing is, like, if they're going to send in, like, some special force of, like, a select group of people into that location, UNIT very clearly have to have psychological files on each of their members. They would send in the people that are willing to get the job done at all costs and not be swayed by that garbage.
But the Brigadier would know, each of his officers, if this one had a problem with this. Though he knew every soldier that he had, their strengths, their weaknesses, and when somebody had a weakness, he says, "Are you going to be able to do this?" All right. These people didn't even do their homework on their own unit members.
Yeah, and Benton very clearly, you can see him if he were in that position, he'd have his gun trained on them, and as soon as like they were like not answering questions or saying something, like Benton would just look and say, "Sorry, mate, gotta go," and like blast them. You know,
I'm sorry, but I changed my rating. I changed to a 5, failing rating. I'm sorry, because the more I talk about it, I like it less and less every time I see it, and I've seen it already 3 times.
due to that scene, I'm saying
it looks like to me that the
3 to
unit
4.
infrastructure has been cracked or something, because this is not the same unit that I grew up watching. Because
They're
they ain't gonna do
pathetic.
something stupid.
They're pathetic. They were even strong with the Centauran thing, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
The Centauran stratagem. I mean, what the hell happened here?
That it may lead them look competent. You know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to do things, but the Centaurans are just so much that
Right.
they were still contending with them to a point. But this was just like, we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Right.
And
Nobody
we're
knew
getting
what
wiped
all
out.
the scientists they have.
Like the Keystone Cops. That's all they
Right.
were. It's pretty much.
Like you have a scientist that could do interdimensional calculations to bring the Doctor back from a wormhole, another dimension, but you don't know how to tell a Zygon shapeshifter. Like you don't.
You know what they should have? You know what they should have said, and this could have been easily fixed with a couple of lines. Was have Kate tell the Doctor, our elite ops are still cleaning up the mess from A Death in Heaven and Dark Water, and say we're pretty much down to only our newer recruits and stuff. That at least explains why they're getting their asses handed to them, and why that scene with the church would have made sense, because these troops don't know necessarily, they don't have the same experience
Right. They would
that
have
the
been
elite ones
rookies.
have.
Yeah.
And then have the Doctor run out there and be like, don't listen to them, and they still don't listen to him. They go in the church, and then he's like, at least I tried.
Yeah, but you know what the worst thing is, Chris?
First about stating other episodes, why did we do that?
Yeah, but you know what the worst thing is, Chris? They sent their best officers with the Doctor. That's their best.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They screwed
Why?
See, I don't understand why the one guy, like, honestly, like, it's so blatantly obvious. Not every shot has to be a kill shot. If you have a doubt,
You shoot them in the leg.
shoot them in the shoulder, shoot them in the leg, and as soon as they turn back into an alien form, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, now we should just shoot them.
Right.
That's what I would have done. I would have been like, okay, I'll cap you in the leg, and then
I gotta
if
say,
that
like,
doesn't hurt you or something.
there was even more stuff I didn't like about the episode. Okay, what the hell was she doing, Clara? And I know they're trying to have it for a joke purpose, but I don't get the joke, because every single time there was a crisis, she answers the phone.
Yeah.
So how could he call her 126, 127 times and her not friggin' answer the phone? And she wasn't even, mind you, she wasn't even abducted yet. That's even worse. At least if they could say, okay, she was abducted already because she never answered 126, 127 times. But that's even worse.
And even after half the calls were done because her phone was out of reach, or shut off, or so. But yeah, 100.
That's bad.
Times, no.
That's bad. So this person that wrote this, did he write anything else?
Yeah, Kill the Moon.
Oh God,
That explains it. That explains it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Oh.
Thanks a lot. That just, you know what? Might as well rate it too then. Because that's
So
like,
by this writer's logic, the moon is an egg, and unit sucks.
oh
Yeah.
my
That's
God.
basically what we've got from this guy.
No, wait,
Jeez.
hold on.
I'm just gonna post my selfies on the moon
Oh,
on Twitter.
please.
There you go.
Now, wait a minute now. Wait a
Kill
minute.
the moon. Give me a
Now,
break.
the moon is an egg, but the unit is cracked. That's what they did.
Right. Right.
You're
How you
being,
gonna explain this one? Like when it's over?
I think you're being way too harsh on Kill the Moon. Apart from the beach scene, it was actually a pretty good episode.
Well,
because
the speech with Clara saying she's done with him, that was a phenomenal scene.
because it explored the doubt between the Doctor and Clara.
Well, that was a good scene, but the scene ain't gonna. That one scene's not gonna like salvage the episode.
It wasn't just a scene; it was a whole episode, really. Because she didn't know if he was going to come back when he jumped down the crater.
Yeah, but I don't like it anyway because he doesn't do that. When does he say he don't care about the Earth? Ever? When did he ever, in his whole history, make it like he don't give a crap about the Earth?
He was in a state of doubt about his own character. He didn't know if he was a good man. That was right in the middle of all that. So he was still looking for answers in his own mentality. I just thought that Kill the Moon overall, apart from the beach scene where it was revealed that the moon's an egg, was a really, really, really good episode, and I enjoyed this one as well. So I don't I don't shit on this writer at all. I think
Well, it's not. I'm not the only one that's saying something negative about the episode. A lot of people in here are like not liking it, but it's okay to like it or dislike it. There's nothing wrong
Well,
with me.
I didn't.
Points that I like, and just points that I'm thinking, like the unit part. I mean, come on. Like Joe said, at least have something to explain why this group is useless as on a bull elephant.
Well, like we did, they were already over their heads to begin with. If that's the best that unit got, unit's done.
And Moffat had no say in this episode whatsoever. He didn't have nothing. Well, maybe he did, but he didn't have any credit, so he really didn't manipulate this episode, I guess.
Well, actually, he could have done because he's co-written Inversion.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe he fixed it then. Whatever was wrong.
Yeah.
Again, I don't see how a unit could be.
It seems like there was a better way for them if they were going that direction to try and make a point about the fact that people, when confronted with familiarity, like friends or family members, who people know are alien, but they have a cognitive dissonance of having to confront that in real life, that they are conflicted with whether to pull the trigger or not. There's a way to address that didn't seem so lazily written or the way that it played out.
They could have done something like this as well. Here's another idea they could have done. That somehow, because they said since now they can retain the image even if the original passed away, if they had some sort of pheromone that they exude. And that's what was causing them to doubt their own beliefs. They could have done something like that.
Yeah.
And it would have been.
Oh, they got some kind of like genetic manipulation or something?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, the pheromones that they exude, they can exude these pheromones that makes them even, whoever they're within close proximity, doubt their own senses.
Well, you know what bothered me even more, though, too? There's a lot of things that bother me about this episode, but the stupid thing in the beginning where, 3 doctors, we know you love to show clips of previous stuff lately, but you show the 50th anniversary thing, but then you don't show anything to do with Missy killing Osgood at all. At all. You don't show a clip. You don't mention Missy. You don't mention... what the hell is that all about? How could you show that clip and then not show how this fell apart in the first place because Osgood died?
Do you know what I would have liked? When they mentioned that the peace treaty had broken, I would have liked like a flash shot of Missy's face. Like when she's laughing or something.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yes.
Like a really creepy laugh.
That would have been badass. That would.
They could have just sold bananas and then she killed her. They could have just did that. Bananas and she killed her.
What if they save that bit, Missy killing Osgood, in the next part?
Well, why couldn't they show that? Seriously.
Well, I agree. I think they should have shown Missy killing Osgood.
Absolutely.
Whoever the writer was forgot about Osgood's history apparently, or just overlooked it.
And the way, honestly, and I mean Mike D, like we talked about this last time, like that's her friggin' mentor, the doctor. So how could she lie to the friggin' doctor or not tell him the truth if she worships the guy? That's absurd.
Comment about the wearing question marks before and how he made it oh yeah, I'm wearing question mark undies.
When the doctor asks you, why didn't she flat out tell him? How could she not trust the doctor all this? She's not afraid of the doctor? Like, that's the one person you trust.
I'm not sure if the writer was paying attention to some of the previous episodes.
I guess not.
Were the question marks that she was wearing?
They were on
like,
her,
I might be looking
collar.
too deeply into this. Was that supposed to symbolize like she's an enigma at this point? Like we don't know.
No, that was the doctor. She's wearing the doctor.
No, I know, but why else would they put that on there?
Because she is a fan of the doctor.
I know, but that was already established, though. It's like it's not like you need to do it again. So like, why would
She's
they?
Wearing something different now. It's like the first time we saw her, she had the scarf. Next time she had it was the bow tie. So
I
like
know, but that to me that just it seems that there's a lot of things they could have put on her that people would have known. I think the question mark thing.
She's doing the history of the doctor though. It could have been worse. Could have wore that multicolored jacket.
Well, let me ask you a question, right? They kidnapped her for what? To make a Zygon out of her?
When they already made a Zygon out of her.
Well,
oh my
if
God.
she's human, they would make a Zygon out of her.
True.
Which I believe she's human. So I believe now we have two Osgoods again.
Well, can't other Zygons see like other Zygons, like even when they're transformed?
I guess. Well, I don't know. I guess
So
not.
why would they kidnap one? I mean,
That's why
unless
the
again,
whole
I guess
version
again,
is,
Right.
she's
In
a
other words, I'm telling you right now, she's not a friggin' Zygon. Not even a hybrid.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of poppycock crap. She's flat out human, and they copied her again. Again. In fact, the one that was chained up in the bottom, that's probably a Zygon now.
Yeah.
It's not even her. And I mean, that's the thing. You're going to constantly confuse the crap out of people with this episode.
Was it just me, or was the composite behind Kate that of the cop that was standing in front of her? Because I kept looking back over that little composite. I'm trying to figure out whether that was the cop that she was chatting with.
I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the Kate Zygon from the 50th.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't allow her to copy her now because she's the head of unit, so she just goes away? I mean, like, how many times could a Zygon copy somebody? Like, that it starts to get really friggin' confusing. I mean, where is Kate Zygon? And then she's captured, and then another Zygon replaces her. So now, explain that to me.
Well, I think the Doctor's a Zygon because he was acting
You know
out.
what I'm thinking. That's what I'm
That
thinking.
wasn't the 12th Doctor that we saw at all. 'Cause-
It's a Zygon.
yeah, that wasn't the 12th Doctor.
Well, think about it. That would explain everything that we had a problem with him acting the way he did. Like,
Yeah,
Correct.
I think all of UNIT are Zygons. Like, it's an infiltration story. Like, we're supposed to not know it because we're
So-
supposed to just see it as, like, an off episode. Like,
So everybody in this whole episode is a Zygon that they don't
Yeah.
know it.
yeah, it's
And then
paranoia.
the Doctor is really in behind the scenes
Because
with
then
the Osgood box.
you're also playing on the paranoia subtext of the whole
So,
well,
when Clara like blasts the plane out of the sky and everyone dies, that's when we're gonna find out that the Doctor actually wasn't the Doctor on that plane.
And
well,
blah,
I
blah,
think
blah.
I think the Doctor's in a pod thing like Clara is, maybe even Kate as well.
they could all be in the TARDIS for all we know.
But one thing I don't get is, how can a Zygon pilot the TARDIS?
Well,
How do we know he did?
yeah,
We never saw him land. Well,
So I mean, when a Zygon copy people, don't they like take on the aspects of the people's personality? They like a
Well, the TARDIS would have been able to sense it because let's not forget that it was able to tell that Salamander wasn't the second Doctor in Enemy of the World, so the TARDIS would know who the double is.
so maybe the TARDIS never landed, and he's still in the TARDIS chilling.
Well, think about it. I mean, wouldn't that explain why he just like, let's fly in the plane? Because maybe he can't fly the TARDIS. You know what I'm saying? Even if he is a Zygon, maybe even Zygons don't know how to do it.
But then
Well, maybe that explains why Osgood was reticent about talking to the doctors. She knows that that's not really the Doctor, and
I see.
there was some plan going on that by blowing the plane out of the sky, that kind of circumvented what was going to actually transpire on the plane between Osgood and the Doctor. That the Doctor's, the fake Doctor, the Zygon Doctor, is actually faking that he's the Doctor for some overall game plan to actually infiltrate UNIT because he's the president of the world, right? So if you could fake him, then that's probably going to pay off in episode 2 if they explain that right.
So if they're all in pods, who's going to save them then?
Osgood.
Maybe the Doctor's not in a pod. Maybe he's in the TARDIS watching all of this happen, and then when
Maybe
the time
that's
is
like
right,
a
he reveals
hologram or
himself.
something?
yeah, I think Mike's right. I think Osgood is going to be the heroine.
Yeah.
But it's the real Osgood. It's not a Zygon Osgood. I'm telling you right now.
The real, I mean, it would have to be.
What if Kate actually shot that Zygon? And you know how she was talking about Zygon communicator thing, right? What if Kate's still Kate, and she goes into the Zygon, I don't know, she tries to find the Zygon base now, somehow, and saves everyone, tries to save everyone, somehow.
Because I'm still thinking the same thing. I'm thinking that's still the same real Kate. And
Yeah.
she managed to get the comeuppance on the Zygon.
You know what's going to be the
Also,
unfortunate...
She defeated the Zygon. She's acting like she's a Zygon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be the unfortunate part about all of this is, like, we're all probably wrong, and it's actually happening the way it's happening in the show.
Like it actually sucks.
Well, wait. Don't forget though, the Zygons are at odds with each other. There's different contentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
So
because
this could be a story about actually
It could be a dream crab possessed a Zygon, and then we have all this nonsense.
Yeah, it could
I
be actually
hope
the
not.
Zygon episode.
Dream crab? Oh, no.
Journey to the unknown. That's what I'm trying to think of.
And then he just
We
bumps
don't
into
need to
his
talk about Last Christmas. We don't need to talk about Last Christmas. Oh, God.
Please.
because
I
nobody
liked Last
Think about
Christmas.
the-
I thought that was a good episode.
What?
I thought
Yeah,
Last
right.
Christmas was good.
I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
Post.
I know what's going to happen. The Doctor's going to shine a light into space that's going to attract the attention of the Dragon Moon, and then only the Dragon Moon or whatever could basically find out what Zygons were.
The question we should all be asking is, how come a Shielda isn't involved in all of this?
Yeah.
Is there an Shielda Zygon?
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
But this
only
could be a
wait. It's only localized
Yeah.
in the UK, mind you. Just to let you know that they
Oh.
flat out said that at the beginning. It's only localized.
Well, I think they should have a shot of a Shielda sitting up on a rooftop with some popcorn. It's just this is great. I've been waiting for this for 300 years.
Yeah.
Well, Maisie Williams and the Zygons both share a trait, they have big foreheads, so how would you differentiate between the two?
That's it. That's
Oh, Lord.
That's how it's back on the show. Zygons are actually.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny to me? I thought they're supposed to have names, right? The Zygons. So when he's like, "What's your name?" to the Zygon, the Zygon looked like he just pooped right there. Like he got scared for a second. He's like whatever, and I'm like, what was that scene all about? Like the Doctor's asking the Zygon for his name, he didn't even answer the Zygon. And it's you're the president of the world. We want the world. It's like
He should have been like, what is your name? The Zygon's like, it doesn't matter what your name is.
I know.
Isn't it a bit weird that they replicated the same scene that they had with Missy in the plane with the Zygon?
Right.
When they got tied.
Misty's tied up and the Zygon's tied up.
And they wheeled her about exactly like they did with Missy. They put her in pretty much the same position as they did with Missy. It's all.
This is like the second jet, and now they're gonna have to have another jet because they're tearing this out of the sky too. There goes the unit budget for the whole next 5 years.
And it's like the same.
It looked like their budget been cut already, apparently.
As the Doctor wrote in that wheel thing.
Wait a minute, didn't the Doctor use a sonic screwdriver in this episode?
Yeah, you saw the glasses for a millisecond.
I thought he raised something in his hand.
He had the sunglasses. He was
Okay. I saw the sunglasses, but I thought he raised.
Did you notice how Osgood reacted to them? She's like, what are you doing? And he's like,
what
I'm
is
getting
that?
you out of here.
What is that? That's a sonic screwdriver? Yeah.
See, everybody wants the sonic screwdriver back. It's iconic. The
This
sunglasses
is
are not
just
iconic.
I'm telling you, they don't even make the sonic glasses look like sonic glasses. It's like regular glasses, not even any devices or nothing.
All they do is look like little Lokes or
Like
whatever.
Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
Ray-Bans.
my goodness! What if Missy was Zygon?
Oh my
It'd
god.
be a hybrid, because when Death in Heaven happened, they would have known about the peace treaty, so they would have known that Zygons were living amongst them. So the Zygons wouldn't have any apprehension in switching to another person mysteriously from Osgood to say Missy.
So
what
does
if
that
Missy-
mean that there were Cybermen, human Zygons?
Oh god.
I mean, it's just a theory, but actually,
Oh
it kinda-
god.
The more I think about this episode, I think it's a primary Zygon episode.
I think we're
It's gonna
making
be
it
revealed
bigger.
in part 2 that this was all pretty much a look from the Zygon view of
You're saying that they're gonna do a journey to the center of the TARDIS reset button
Yeah.
type of thing? Oh,
yeah.
for Christ's
Well,
sake.
maybe not that. Maybe more of a. What was the Voyager episode where they encountered those that silver gunk, and they made a copy of Voyager. It's going to be something like that.
Where they like they replicated all the Voyager's crew.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to turn out to be, this is one of those episodes, and the Doctor is going to come, and it may be even a mix of android invasion as well, where this is actually just the Zygons testing maybe an invasion attempt. But I'm still thinking.
I know we're building it up, the expectations. And that's the sad part, like we've all said. We build it up, and then it's a shitty explanation.
Yeah, and what's going on with the Doctor's hair? Like he got bedheaded.
I like it. It's Pertwee. It is Pertwee-esque.
Maybe a Zygon couldn't replicate his hair correctly.
I know it's more like this.
I just can't get over. I can't get over how Kate Stewart just drives to New Mexico with nobody. I don't understand any of that.
It's a Zygon episode. I just have this feeling it's a primary Zygon episode.
Yeah.
Well, if it is, then Connor, you hit it on the head.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, everyone's a Zygon. It's pretty obvious, actually. Because no one was acting in character.
It was terrible.
No way that's the Doctor.
All terrible.
So like the Daleks, the Zygons got a hierarchy, huh?
The Doctor was terrible with the dialogue. Everybody was terrible.
And actually, they've already given away the resolution because Kate said about the gas, and then the Doctor took it. So the Doctor's
going to spray everybody.
As soon as the Doctor hears about a Zygon invasion, he's probably going to use that gas. Especially with someone as unstable as the 12th Doctor. So he's probably, like I said, he's known what's going to happen, so he's set it all up, and he put that in the Osgood box.
Yeah.
The Osgood box, okay. Wow.
So let me take a guess, right? He loaded, listen to this, right? He loaded the gas in the plane, knowing they're going to blow up the plane. And just like V the series, or V the original, like, the gas is going to go in the atmosphere, and it's going to land on everybody in the UK, and all the Zygons are going to be revealed.
He put the gas inside the Osgood box because also Osgood.
Right, but the Osgood box is probably in the plane that she blows up.
It's in the office.
Oh, it's in the office? Okay. Well, that would be smart to put it in the plane, because then they would all be revealed.
Because she did also say that the Doctor gave her it. So why would the Doctor give her a weapon of mass destruction without knowing its use?
I think the key is in that line where in the coming attractions for the next episode where the Doctor says, "You don't know who's going to live and die," and then it looks like she hits the button. Now that could be clever editing, but
he tricks her. He tricks her into opening it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. Like, what if there's some weird thing where like you don't know who's going to live or die? What if he's talking about you don't know if there's going to be humans that are killed or Zygons that are going to be killed?
I think he was flipping out like that to her because he wants her to press the button. Because he tricked her.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. He put the gas because Osgood made it seem like it was going to start a war, and that's what the Zygons want. So obviously they're going to take advantage of a weapon that can start a war. So he's obviously going to manipulate this Zygon Clara into using something that she thinks is going to aid the Zygons, but actually it's going to ultimately be the thing that defeats them. That's how the Doctor works. It's how he worked in The Witch is Familiar, sorry.
Now here's your question, Connor.
Well, it's how Sylvester McCoy would work, too, with his
Exactly, yeah.
tactic.
Connor, I have a question for you.
Yes?
In the synopsis for the episode after the Zygons, is Clara in it?
Well, it doesn't say because it's the found footage. It's been kept proper secret.
So we don't know if Clara's in the next two episodes after the Zygon?
Much. I don't even think the Doctor's going to be in it much.
It's a Dr. Light episode?
It's probably a Doctor and Clara Light episode.
Oh, wow. Just trying to do a Blink thing again, I guess.
Oh, are they trying to concentrate on Unit or something, or just mostly on the Zygons?
No, it'll be on the crew of the. Oh, if you mean for the Zygon one, the Doctor will obviously be a main part in that. But the Sleep No More, it'll probably just be the crew of the the space station that they're talking about.
Isn't that the thing in the episode where the doctor walked off originally? Is that the Gatiss episode? He's like, this is like, he was pissed off or something.
Oh, that's the one he walked off of?
Yeah, it's found footage. It's filmed through CCTV and GoPro camera.
Oh, God.
So it's all,
What a nightmare that one's going to be.
I don't even think it will be a nightmare because I think it's going to be actually pretty good.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Well, that's an inside joke, you know, because we're supposed to be Sandman, Nightmare. Never mind. Well, that was supposed to be. Remember, it was supposed to be. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway. And Face the Raven, that's supposed to be Maisie Williams, right?
Yeah, she's in it.
And that's the rumored episode where Clara dies, suppose, for real.
Well, she will die because she's not in Heaven Sent, is she? It's just the Doctor. So.
Well, she is in the last episode, yeah.
Well, yeah, but we don't know how
She
much.
might sacrifice herself.
Well, no, how bad she's not in. But Heaven
No,
Sent.
in Hell Bent she's in, but she's
Hell
on.
Bent's the last episode?
Yeah, she's the waitress. I mean, that could just be one little scene. We don't actually know.
I don't even know what's happening.
I have a funny feeling all of us are going to be saying, "What is happening?" a lot.
Yeah, the whole
these
season.
last few episodes.
What is happening?
Well, on a happier note, she'll be reunited with her love, Danny King, so she'll be okay.
I still don't even think Missy's the master.
She might be working with. What if
I
she's,
think a shoulder either becomes Missy or a shoulder's working with Missy.
I'm just going to look forward to when River Song comes back. She's like, I'm the hybrid. I'm going to kill everybody. Like, whoa!
We're forgetting Omega.
Well, I'm sorry, but the Doctor's dog will face off against Omega.
Yeah.
Hey, Nine, are you kidding?
No,
Yeah,
I'm actually serious. I'm actually serious about that. The Doctor's dog. The Doctor's dog is fighting Omega, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
In a multi-million-dollar movie to be released everywhere.
Affirmative, Master.
Yeah, apparently we don't have the rights to Omega for Doctor Who.
Oh,
Apparently.
there's the first one. What is happening?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, somebody just didn't do the right thing, obviously.
Wow.
Is it for real?
You've got to remember that each writer has intellectual property to everything they create, so it's not necessarily always going to be under the Doctor Who trademark.
That was a waste right there, then.
Are you serious? They're actually doing K9 versus Omega?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
serious.
That would be retarded right there.
It's actually, listen, it's actually real.
I cannot believe that. That is retarded.
It's not fake at all. This is
And
happening.
they're gonna end up filming it probably in Australia again. I'm hearing.
It's going to be a multi-million-dollar movie that we're
Are you
all
sure
going to be
it's not
going
like
to.
the? Are you sure it's not like the cat version of Omega, like Omeowga or something like that?
No,
That sounds like something from Pokemon or something.
no.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that make more sense though? I mean,
Yeah.
no. Am I the only one who thinks no? Okay.
I kind of thought that Omega was going to be in Doctor Who, that he was behind everything with Matt Smith at the time, but
That
obviously
would have been nice.
that's
Can't
it was-
Omega?
I mean,
Can't
you look at
Omega-
Death in Heaven, all you see is Omega symbols everywhere.
So I guess Omega is going to the dogs, I guess.
Wow.
This episode here went to something. Wasn't the dogs?
Yeah.
So they're gonna bring back Rassilon then?
Oh gosh.
I don't know. I really
That's the sequel of K9 the movie.
just and I said this in a previous cast, but just keep in mind that there's like a really strong possibility that the Daleks will be in the K9 movie as well, because the Daleks are not owned by, Doctor Who, obviously. So
Lord. Doctor Who got all this history, but they keep using.
It's almost like Marvel in a way. They don't own everything.
You need to bring back the Celestial Toymaker. You need to bring back the Time Robber. Do something.
And
they
my
brought back
teacher
the Great
might be going
Intelligence
back
like
into the
3
K9
times.
movie. possibly. Yeah, Canine, the flying Canine.
Or bring back the Ronnie.
They don't have
Yes,
the rights to the. They don't have the rights to the Ronnie. They can't do
Real
that.
writing all these stories. They didn't get nothing copyrighted, did they?
This is for the 40th anniversary, 40th birthday of Canine. It's called Canine Timequake, and he's fighting Omega.
Yay.
So a
Is
positive,
this canon?
So positive energy
This
going to
is
the
unfortunately, this is
Not canon.
It's not canon.
Why would it be canon when they're not even using the real K9?
It's who said they're not.
Well, do you see the real K9 in that picture?
This is
That's
just
not the real Canine.
that's
Using
not
that
that's
flying
not
Canine.
that's not the canine they're going to use. They don't have any footage for the movie. They're just showing what he looked like in the last TV series that they had. But rumor has it
I'm
that
pretty sure they've already said they're using him.
They are
no,
using him.
they're definitely not using him. They're using a
I'm pretty sure
third.
they've already said they are.
They said they're using a third version, a different form
Where?
for canine. Where?
Where?
Let's see.
K9 3.0.
The new K9, meaning the one that
The
they
flying Canine.
the Australian one.
Yeah.
Because there's only two K9s that were.
Yeah, there's going to be another version of it because he can regenerate.
What?
He regenerated in the Australian thing. I know you didn't see it, but for some reason he regenerated.
He can
I have
fly.
the whole Canine Australian series on download, so I could play it after this. No.
I know it's ridiculous, but he actually regenerated.
Well, I think they're definitely using the Australian one.
They will be probably using the Australian one because it can fly.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay, the
yeah.
populace is for legal reasons, the show was not allowed to refer directly to Doctor Who or any of its characters, so it seems rather surprising that Omega will feature in the movie until you learn that Barker also co-created. Okay, so I guess the guy that created Omega also created Crane-9, so.
Well, okay, so
Well, yeah,
that's not a
because
big deal. If it's not canon, they could do whatever the hell they want, and Omega could still show up in Doctor Who eventually.
Well, I don't think he's gonna be, but yeah, okay.
So what that be then? Like an alternative timeline or what?
Sure.
I don't know what.
And they'll probably be bringing those same kids that were in the Canine series into the movie, possibly.
So the way they doing things, they ought to just make a Doctor Who multiverse. They doing everything else.
I just think there's no point to doing this, but whatever.
yeah, well, no one's gonna go see it.
I'll
Well,
go see it.
I'll probably see it if it's here. I mean, I've seen crap before, but this is related to Doctor Who, kind of, so I would definitely go see it.
K9's gonna be Doctor Who's Fantastic Four. I'm just telling you now.
Oh, I think this would still be better than that, obviously, but I don't know, man. I know this just put a damper on the cast, and I do apologize, but you know, sometimes we don't get what we want. You know, the Mets didn't win, so I didn't get what I wanted. So there you go. All right.
I feel your pain, Joe.
Yeah, I know. On that sour note, thanks, K9. But that's it for this show. Take care. Bye for now.
Ciao.